It's Bob versus Destro. Wait, this is game number 3. In Group A, Bob and Destro just trying to even things out. Bob looking for that 4-2, and Destro looking to tie it up to get a 3-3 at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're gonna load up here onto the Rift. Again, I'm interested to see how this Varus also plays out, because this is, again, if you have an Alistar getting hooked in by a Blitzcrank, it's not the greatest situation for the Blitzcrank team. You know, it's a cow, and he's like, oh, thank you for bringing me closer to your AD carry. I'm now going to go ahead and headbutt Pulverize this way. Thank you very much. You have that follow-up with, say, the Varus that can use the ultimate, of course, get that lockdown on a single target. One of these players are going to die. If they're able to get the Vayne, then also Motionless will likely go down. It's also it's both supports running Ignite, so both of them are going to be looking for these kills early. They want to get their AD carries ahead.
So those summoner spells are going to mean that bot lane looking to be quite a bloody match. So we'll have to see if mid lane is able to turn the tides of those fights at all.
It's
Nicoya
also
running teleport here.
It's also a lethal tempo Varus too. It isn't a poke heavy Varus. This is actually going to be one that's opting to go for the attack speed route most likely. You're going to see that Runans come out very early. It's not going to be lethality, I'm going to guess, because usually we see Meteor or Comet, whatever the name you want to call it. Those are often what teams are going to, but look at this. Very delayed invade right during the buff, and this is really awkward for Dez.
Yeah, I just locked down on Lavender. They almost managed to get the bad trap on a rope, but won't be able to find it in the end. Instead, they're just going to be satisfied, dishing out a lot of damage onto Destro as well as Lavender, taking away the Nocturne Summoner spell there. Flash for Flash matched with the Glitter. Not all that bad.
That's nicely done here by the team. Again, that very delayed jungle invade. A lot of teams, especially if you're Vladimir, you don't have really a whole lot you can provide for the rest of your team. So when it comes to those invades, Destro, like we mentioned, this is going to be a rough lane. We'll see how he's able to do. If he's able to just farm up, get some minions here and there, and just avoid giving kills to Blaine. Already, though, having to burn that teleport, get in lane to stay even, and Krex nearby. Could possibly look for a play, but I think he's going to opt to go back into his jungle.
Yeah, they just got level 2 onto Blair. They don't have that flash. They probably can't lock down onto Vladimir as easily as they would like, so they're just going to take the safer route. Players sound that out. Meanwhile, we take a quick look down to the bot side. So you mentioned that Ignite, but it's going to be quite a difficult lane for both teams. Dragon will be spawning up, so it's going to be a bit of a question who gets priority there. And meanwhile, mid lane, looking like they want to try and find something. They've managed to block off the Justice Fist. Will still be able to get that Sonic Resonance off. No Sleepy Trouble Bubble going to be able to find anything here. Just going to use the Summoner Flash they picked up there. But won't be able to get too much more out of that one.
Yeah, Nicoya going to be forced to have to go back to base. Oh, Orca almost was able to kill him with a Redemption. That was close. Had the area as well, but not going to be able to fully secure the kill. Still, a nice job there by Krex. Wanted to see some early pressure in this 2v2, and for Lavender and Nicoya, that's already them on a back foot. They already had to deal with an invade that set back Lavender just a little bit. Nicoya is going to be forced to go back into lane with burning the teleport, only picking up a Dark Seal on the first back. Orca's probably going to do the same, but has to walk back to the lane because it has to run the cleanse in this matchup. So Bob and Friend, they're going to be feeling pretty good here.
Yeah, definitely. They picked up a pretty decent early game start. We'll have to see how they try and translate that moving into the next phases of the game. We're still looking at those Dark Seal purchases coming in from both Bob as well as Destro. And play on 9.7. Being the first competitive team, the region to play on 9.7 means that a lot of these teams are going to have to innovate faster than they can watch some of the other regions as to how they try to adapt.
Yeah, because we do play on the live patch here, at least for spring. It's going to be quite difficult for teams to kind of get a little bit of a read on that meta early, unlike other regions where they can just, you know, watch some LCK, watch some LPL, and then try and do it themselves. Motionless might be able to get a hook.
Yeah, but it's going to be on Mad Life, so not all the damage done onto the Alistar, whereas look at that, the Varus just gets free time to auto-attack onto Haru. Haru looks to try and trade back, at least gets the Silver Bolts, so manages to dish out a little bit of damage. Not the worst trade in the world, but still going to be in favor of Destro.
Again, we saw what this matchup will do. Motionless, sure, you can get that Alistar, but you just bring the Alistar closer to your AD carry. Now, if you do it like this, where they're just out of
Ignite.
range.
But up in the top side, this is what I was talking about. Fight going over into the favor of Blair. They're looking to try and get a little bit more damage off onto Destro, but up in the top side is Lavender, showing his face as well. Means they're not going to be able to get any more out of that one.
Nicoya, oh, he took a Battlestar there. Meanwhile, that's First Blood still up in top lane.
Yeah, but Nicoya running for dear life at this point. We're looking at the Battlestar coming through. Almost sees it from Alka. Doesn't have his ultimate. Cannot jump in to get that damage off. We'll take a look at what happened topside in a moment, guys. Just give us a quick sec to get that ready up. But that was a nice one overall. I'm not sure how they managed to find that, considering it looked like they were already supposed to have backed off. But either way.
It just looked Destro was going a little bit too aggressive, so we'll have to see here. Again, Krex and Blair were a little low. Lavender was coming around the top side there and was able to get a Q off and get some decent damage, but I think Destro just got a little bit too greedy, so let's take a look here. Krex is able to get the connection there.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, Destro just had no respect.
And how did Krex get away from that? Oh, nice look on the raid. He might be able to find a Condemned to get it onto the L-Star instead, dishing out decent amount of damage onto Mad Life right now. They're trying to get a turnaround onto Motionless, but looking for a little bit more onto Ray. They fire back an arrow onto the Blitzcrank, but the Blitz survives for a little bit longer.
Krex is nearby, though, so Destro will have to be careful here as far as their bot lane goes. Mad Life has to figure something out.
Here we go. They get the kill off very quickly as well. They jump onto the Elsa, almost managed to take him down, and they will be able to do so with the Sonic Wave. Haru gonna get taken down so very low. The Ignite taken down. Lavender tries for this kill, but even almost gets his fear off. We're gonna have to see the flash from Haru take that kill away from him.
Yeah, so Mad Life falls for the bait there. As Motionless is able to get that quick hook in, and they also then get that kill on over to Krex. Now 2-0-0 on the Lee Sin. So nice job there by Bob and Friend. Now sitting 1,500 gold up. We also got our first components coming in, and we mentioned this during Champ Select. Yeah, Destral, this is where this lane sucks.
Oh my goodness, flashing forward. They get the punch off, looking for a little bit more damage. They pick up another kill for himself.
Motionless, I'm pretty sure he saw the Blitzcrank go, not that Motionless. Cute, I'm pretty sure he saw the Blitzcrank go into that bush. So, lack of respect, and I think that's deserved to get punished. So a nice job there by Bob and Friend. Now they actually get that first kill onto the Vayne. That's what they were looking for too, and that's a really bad thing to happen here for Cute. Because the Varus, once he starts losing out a bit on the matchup, especially if you're not going lethality where you can just look to poke out, if you're looking for all-ins, that Vayne's always going to beat you now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very strong dueling matchup that Bob managed to draw for themselves, as well as the Blitzcrank being able to land his critical hooks is just so wonderful for Bob. Have you ever heard of this YouTuber called Bad Administrator?
I'll hear about it in a sec.
Yeah, they're looking for his cash, but they don't see the Sleepy Trouble bubble landing onto Nicoya. Instead, it's going to be onto the minion. They miss out onto the Sonic Resonance as well. So they're just going to have to concede on picking up another kill in the mid lane.
For Lavender, he's still only level 5. He's been delayed for so long. Is Krex going to go for this?
He has his Dragon's Rage, but it might be a little bit too risky, especially with his Justice Punch. Probably going to be able to find it. Oh, nice catch with the ultimate coming in from.
Here comes Blair.
From the Varus. They're going to look to cash onto Yaru. Haru's almost dead at this point. One more auto tank. We'll see the kill coming in. But Blair joins down into the bot side. They managed to pick up one kill. Now, onto Mad Life. They just need to kill off the cow. And looks like he's going to be sacrificed off a couple more auto attacks, but they won't be able to find it.
So that one was a bit of a risky one. Blair's going to go for it.
He doesn't even care. This man's a madman. Sees himself on the turret right now. Gets the shot off, but he takes the damage coming in from Mad Life, and he loses his life.
All right, so Blair gets a kill at least there in the end. Lavender's here toward this top side. They could possibly look for a dive here onto Krex. They do have the way of resetting the turret aggro with the Vladimir. The Hemoplague will also give him back. Let's see, they're going in.
Paranoia onto the Lee Sin. He's just going to get dove. Easy ultimate from the Galio. The heroic entrance picks up the kill. And you've taken down the Lee Sin for the first time this game.
Unfortunately, Lavender took a little bit too much damage, so he's going to have to back off immediately. That's the kind of combo you're looking to see here on the side of Destral. That's still a lot of ultimates used for one kill in a 3v1. Yeah. I think that's a little bit of an issue, but still, they get the kill. If they don't get punished for it, then it's fine. But when it comes into the later part of the game, when you're trying to collapse onto one member like that and you have to burn 3 ultimates, that's a little concerning.
Absolutely. But it is still going to be a kill. So as you said, if Destro don't get punished for it, fair game. I kind of feel like I lost the timing window for this, but so you've never heard of, have you ever heard of this YouTuber called Badministrator?
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
The name is familiar.
So he makes like YouTube, like he makes like music videos, not music videos, he makes like rap songs about like League of Legends stuff.
Okay.
And he had this song with a Blitzcrank and Orianna, and one of his first lines was, I'm in the bush while you push and I'm stalking. Bottom line the hook, so I'm talking to Hawkin. So that I really felt like that was a pretty good summary of how Motionless got the hook onto Ray down in the bot lane. And as long as he's able to try and replicate these effects, they really should be able to try and get a couple more kills. But as you said, lethal tempo on this Varus means a bit more damage. You're trying to try and trade out for at least a Vayne in this. And considering they managed to get a 2v2, 2 for 2 down the bot side with the aggression from Blair that last fight, I'm not sure how much value Bob are finding off from these recent fights. Well, meanwhile, this is the Dragon spawning up, so both teams should be looking to try and pick this up pretty soon.
Yeah, Orca is just going to go ahead and clear back, but like we've mentioned, the lethal tempo on the Varus isn't for the lane. If we were looking for lane dominance, that would be a Comet to go lethal.
Exactly.
Instead, he's opting in like we've seen the Bork. So again, late game, Cute will be able to do a lot for his team. It's whether or not the team can make it to that late game.
Oh, Paranoia into the mid lane. They're looking for the catch onto the Zoe. The near side is still going to take away a lot of vision, but she still gets away safely. Orca burns both summoner spells there.
Krex is down here. They're looking for it.
Yeah, Krex might be looking to try and trade back over in the bot side, but they won't be able to get the hook onto the Alistar, so no kill coming through. Meanwhile, Krex still pressuring down bot lane. What will Lavender do now?
Cute does have his ultimate available. I think they're looking to try and bait that out here on the side of Bob, but they're just going to go ahead and back off. Krex has been applying a lot of pressure toward this ball. And this will be the first Dragon, though, going on over to a Bob and friend if they're able to secure it. Doesn't look like Destro are going to be able to do anything here.
Nakoya does have his ultimate available. The heroic entrance could work with the Alistar headbutt pulverized, but they don't have enough setup to try and contest with the Mountain Dragon, so just going to be making the prudent play, holding off on that. Nice knock up onto Mad Life. Hook onto the Varus coming in as well to get the silence off. A lot of damage onto Ray. A few more auto attacks from the Vayne. We'll see him go down, but he gets locked down, and Nakoya picks up the kill. Teleport's coming in all across the board from Destro. They've just collapsed onto this bot lane. Motion is going to see the Hemo Blake taking him down to such very low health. The flash forward from Destro. He's trying to get this kill onto the Blitzcrank. Nakoya going to get knocked down on the turret. The CP Troll bubble comes out. Won't be able to connect onto anybody. Mad Life going to get taken out by the turret. Mad Life almost back onto his mount. He finds it and he jumps onto the Varus, turning the fight around. And Destro just going to get killed off. Imaging a million wave. He's cowed down.
Ah, Destro, it looks so good until it didn't. Ah, that's ugly. So unfortunately, we're going to likely have to take another look at that one. But again, they get so aggressive underneath the tower. You got those 2 kills. I like the mindset from Destro. The only issue is you're trying to dive a Kled, and he's going to get the mount back if he's able to survive long enough. He had the tower reset. On top of that, Cute, unfortunately, point-blank bubble coming out from Orca. Wasn't able to apply any more damage because he was stuck in stasis and he was tanking tower aggro. Let's take another look here. So Motionless leads the charge, gets knockup, really good hook. But it's a double teleport, and it's really deceiving here for Bob because it doesn't look like they understand, hey, there's multiple people coming on in. They go ahead and chase in on the fight. They get a double kill. I like it. Destro's like, all right, we're going to go for this. I have the Hemo Plague. We're going to have a ton of damage. They get it, but the Mana Shield lets this Blitzcrank last long enough that he's able to get a hook onto Nakoya, and then Blair, he just gets the reset. We're still fighting.
Oh my goodness, not even enough time to explain a quick replay. Destro jumps right back into the fray, finding themselves a kill onto Orca. Looks like they won't be able to trade back with the Zoe right now, but still, oh my goodness, what a bot lane fight. What a massacre.
Now this is concerning, because now Blair just got a free double kill. He's got himself a Tiamat, he's got himself a Phage, and he's got Merc Dread. So that Vladimir is going to do absolutely nothing to him anymore. Still going to try and look for this. Delivery system comes out. But nice condemn, gets them to safety, so that's not going to be the ultimate, but they do have 4 members down here, so this should be the first brick gold going on over to Destral.
Yeah, without a teleport, they won't have a way to make their way down bot side in time to prevent this. They're just going to try and use the Rift Herald to neutralize this in the mid lane, and that's still a pretty good trade. Despite the fact that first break heads over to Destral, Bob managed to trade back for the mid side very effectively here.
Yeah, you get that first turret down in mid lane. There isn't anything to fight here. Destral's going to try and go for this, but I think Krex is just going to be fine here. He takes a little bit of damage. The Rift Herald, oh, never mind. They're going to still fight Grandin.
Oh my goodness, Motionless tries to walk into his own jungle, but Destro have set up camp there. And they say, no, you gotta pay a toll for this road.
It's good to get the mid lane tower. It's not good, though, if you get the main lane tower and you don't have any ward coverage. And the bot side here for Bob and friend, there's no wards. There was one ward where Motionless was. Everything else, though, is Destral territory. They have control wards throughout the river. They got wards around the Dragon Pit. They have coverage of where Bob and friend were moving, and they were able to catch out that Blitzcrank. Getting that mid lane tower here for a Bob and friend, it should allow them to open up the map a little and actually push in their ward line. But if Destral's able to continue to defend this, then, you know, usually if you get this tower this early, you opt to go into a Rift Herald or go into a Dragon. Nothing's available. And Baron isn't going to be up for another 4 minutes. You don't really have a composition that's looking to take it that fast. They got 1 Mound Drake and a Vayne, so they could do it at a decent rate. But that's still very risky.
Oh my goodness, Motionless gonna get caught out. We do see the ultimate from the Claire trying to match the Paranoia from Nocturne, but it's not gonna be enough. They're still gonna take down the Blitzcrank in time, but they straight back onto the Varus so quickly. Vayne going massive in the bot lane fight, being able to find 1 kill, flash to the wall, joins on over onto Nakoya, and they just clean up. And Destro gets sweet 4 kills over onto Bob.
Again, Destro, they're forcing these plays, but Nakoya did not have the Galio ultimate to follow up onto the Nocturne. And without that second form of CC, Bob and friend what ends up happening is they get 1 target locked down by the Nocturne. That's great. There's still other members here on Bob and friend. Everyone is a threat minus the Blitzcrank. That's just going to be a CC bot. If you get one of them, that's cool. They have 3 other people that are going to be able to do damage in a 5v5.
Yeah.
Destral, they tried so hard to force it, but you need everything up and available. A Paranoia alone isn't going to cut it.
That's true. Positioning on the Varus is going to also be absolutely key. They had the Paranoia, but as you said, they ran out so very quickly. They were out of gas, trying to force an extended fight. And then you just have Motionless, who tanks so very much. He's so deceptively tanky right now. You look at his health bar, you're like, yeah, this guy has like 1,000.
It's that mana shield.
500 health. The mana shield plus kind of defensive items just give him deceptively tanky stats. And that helped him survive long enough that the rest of the team was able to collapse in. And by then, Destro, they were on the gas pedal, they were all in, but they ran out of gas, they stalled, and that fight went right over to Bob.
Yeah, Destral sitting on 2 deaths at the moment here in this top lane. Has the Proto Belt. Going to be starting to finish off the Zonias soon.
I'll be honest, 2 deaths, that's better than I expected in the top lane.
It's very you step, but then you look at Blair, who's actually roamed.
Yeah.
And sitting at 5-1-5. Of the 13 kills, he's been involved with 10. So the Kled doing a lot more than the Vladimir this time around, which is to be expected. You have utility with that ultimate. You're acting as that leading charge when it comes to these onslaughts. But also, it's been very reactive from Bob and friend. We actually haven't seen Blair actually look to lead that charge into the fights. It's been very reactive. It's when junglers look to go for a gank. Krex actually went ahead and finished off a Guardian Angel right away.
Pretty interesting second item buy. I think some junglers, some Lee Sin junglers, some not junglers, they've actually been looking at it as a second item rush, especially in these high kill games, as opposed to getting that Black Fever. Not the worst buy. Oh my goodness,
no.
Sleepy Troll Bubble gonna be able to connect anyway.
Right,
almost get the kill on the Lavender.
Yeah, Lavender gets a bit lucky there that the passive from Orca on the W was actually proc, so he wasn't going to take the hit from the Paddle Star. Was looking to be lined up there, and Lavender would have probably actually died. He was down to about 200 health if that actually hit. So we'll see here. A Bob and Friends All right, want to see here how they look to lead this. Motionless is going to get that hook.
They're still going to take a catch on the Mad Life if they can find it. They were looking to see if they could use the Condemn to push away the headbutt, but not going to see that coming in from the Alistar, so we're just going to get away safely. Pops the ultimate very quickly there, but it's on a pretty low cooldown, so it's not going to be too impactful. Meanwhile, Blair trying to push out bot lane.
See, my thing is, Blair is all the way down in bot. He has teleport. I would have liked to see Destral try and do something to try and force that teleport out. Again, if the hook misses, you can make the call to go in. If the Nocturne ultimate and the Galio ultimate are up, boom, that's your team fight you're looking for. We'll have to see here, though, because Destral's trying very hard to keep this turret alive.
Yeah, I mean, they are trying to stall this turret out. Not sure if they're going to be able to. It should just go down. Might make sense to just give it up instead of trying to hold on to something that they can't. Oh, but they are actually clearing out the waves pretty well here. No engage coming in for Bob. So as you said, incredibly reactive. Bob haven't been looking for those proactive plays, but Baron is going to be available right now. That might be something they want.
Oh, man, Destral, this is scary.
Hook onto Mad Life. Just going to find a little bit more damage onto the Alistar.
No
he doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so no reduced damage over on the side. Blair just going to be soloing off Destral. Destral going to be able to survive a little bit longer. Cracks tries to join back in, but isn't able to do all that much. Just going to take this time. Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Not going to connect.
Orca gets in some extra damage there. Piercing Arrow comes out, doesn't do anything. That's the issue when you're not building a lethality build on the Varus. You're on hit, you're not going to do a whole lot of damage with that Q. The big thing here is Destral are trying to defend their side of the jungle and try and push back.
Oh my goodness.
When they have no vision.
The Paranoia jumping onto Blair to try and take him out. No vision is right. The Paranoia going to remove a lot of sight away from Bob, so he can't go back in, but over the backline. Destral
there you go.
Goes massive. He's just clearing up right now. Bob have to try and run away. They split up. Multiple members. Craig stuck there. Coming back up from the Guardian's Angel. He's just going to get killed off. And the remaining members of Bob running for dear life, and Destral take away a massive fight. What is this? The flash forward from Ray. Slippy Trouble Bubble comes through, looking for a little bit more damage, and Orca returns the kill.
Just one auto attack short. Goes to sleep before he can finish it off. So in the end, it's still a 2-for-1 for Destral. That's the kind of fights they need. I think for that one, though, I don't know if they're always going to get that opportunity where Bob looked to overextend. Orca got the redemption coming on through. Lavender's just going to try and make it happen. He's got flash.
But he won't be able to make it in time. Orca still gets taken down, and Lavender at this point just going to get CC'd up. Killed off by Bled before he can do anything, and Mad Life now stuck in between two very tanky members on the side of Bob. Just going to lose his life as a double kill for Bled comes through.
Yeah, Blair is a monster. Oh, not going to land there from Motionless. Try to get that rocket grab. But coming back here, I don't think Destral are always going to get those opportunities. I do like, though, that they were able to punish Bob and Friend. They get themselves some gold back. They get some gold onto the Vars. They get some gold onto this Galio. Other than that, though, it's still Bob and Friend with control of this game. They're still ahead by about 5,000 gold. They have some ward coverage. They have 3 elemental drakes. Start thinking about this Baron. Honestly, though, if I'm Bob and Friend, I don't think you want to fight around a Baron. Or a Dragon, for that matter. If the Galio ultimate is up, if you have a Varus ultimate up as well, there's a lot of AoE teamfight ultimates that can really cause issues, especially in these chaotic choke points. It could be devastating for Bob and Friends, so I want to see the ward coverage come out first and then look for picks while using the Baron as bit.
That's an interesting one. So right now, Bob, basically, to summarize, is going to have to try and look for picks and maintain vision around Baron, but not fight around Baron. But the question is, what does Destral do? Because they are so far behind right now. We're looking at a 5,000 goal difference, 23 minutes. Not as big as the one we just saw between SVR and Dog, but it is a pretty significant one regardless.
Well, honestly, if Destral is just going to let the Baron, you know, have all this secured vision go on over to Bob, yeah, Bob could just do the Baron. So you want to try and force something out. The thing about Destral is they have 2 teleports available right now. Blair does not. So this is Bob saying, okay, we're going to make a play. We're going to force you guys to have to do something. Destral, they're just looking to clear out the minions here on the side. Some pings are coming out. They know this is likely taking place. Nocturne's over toward the side. But guess what? Bob, they set up a lot of good vision, and that allows them to take this Baron. Destral can't do a thing.
And it's as you said, Baron now goes over to Bob. Since Destral didn't even try to contest it, didn't manage to establish any vision there. going to end up losing onto that Baron. You can just see Nakoya, even with the Winds of War, with an AP build, isn't able to clear out the minion wave fully. So that just means that he has to spend more time down bot side, which is a bad thing for the Galio. He wants to be in his team fights as quickly as possible.
You know, he's got that proto belt to try and get a little closer into the fights, not having to burn the flash every single time. But still, like you mentioned, without that AP, without that extra damage you sometimes see, it can be a little bit difficult. So we'll have to go through and see what we want to do here. See, Lavender having to use that spell shield immediately, and the paranoia.
Yeah, he just tries to jump back onto Haru, but very quickly the Guardian's Angel's just going to get popped. And Nakoya tries to go in to save his friend, but he's going to lose his life soon after, as well as Krax follows him over into the wall. But Krax stuck in between multiple members of Death. He's going to get killed off, and Destro just chasing after, says, "Get out, my jungle Blair." Isn't going to take any of that. Olga jumps over, blows the raspberry, but just going to walk away after that.
See, Bob and Friend, they are good when they find picks. Destral does do well in these team fights, and in these small corridors in the jungle, they'll be happy to take these fights with their AoE. I was a little bit weird from Lavender, ended up using the ultimate to go back in. The Galio actually ulted in, so they didn't have really any CC follow-up. Baron buff is still available. Destral wants to try and get aggressive here, is going to get that Q off.
Instead, it's going to be Blair who goes aggressive and try and trade back, but the mount on Blair is going to jump off real quick. Blair coming in, they almost managed to take down Ray, pushing back. We do see Motionless just get the knock up onto the Vladimir to get the hook off as well. Silence coming through. He goes off Golden. Survives for a little bit longer. And he managed to trade back onto Blair there. Over on the side, Orca tries to fight off against the Lavender. Against the Nocturne on his side. Misses out on an attack. So Orca not going to be able to find that kill just yet. Meanwhile, Matlife gets a headbutt pulverized onto the Vayne. They're looking to try and turn this around. But it's so extended. And for so long, they almost get the kill off. The Paranoia is back up at this point. And Destro tries to jump in, almost gets the portobello kill on the Motionless.
Paranoia came out. I don't know what Lavender was trying to do there. I think he came out of spawn and used the ultimate to try and turn the fight.
Yeah. Maybe just deny vision?
Maybe trying for it. I don't know if it was going to actually work out here, but in the end, Bob get the fight. It's a bit extended. The big one here is the Vayne was able to survive and was able to kite back. They tried very hard to burst him down, just weren't in range. There is no summoners now on that Vayne, so there is an opportunity for the next fight. We'll see, though, here. Motionless looking for a hook onto Lavender, just trying to get some vision down here. Orca's also a little far forward.
I will say, though, this has been a surprisingly close game coming in for Destro. I mean, just the fact that the composition that they're working with, we should have seen Bob been able to take the opportunity to try and kill them off earlier before they managed to scale up. But Destro have held on very well. In fact, they've been holding on so well that the goalie has maintained at that same 5,000, almost 6,000 now, but 5,000 goal difference for the past 7 minutes or so. And that's a good thing. Destro are not falling further behind.
Still, though, you look at this game, and Bob always feels like they're ahead. We want to see where they go here, because it's now going to be their 4th Elemental Drake, and now that kind of puts a little bit of a timer here on Destral.
Yeah, and that second Mountain Drake breaks open the base so quick.
Yeah, it can break open the base. It can also threaten in for the Elder Drake that will happen later on in the game. You have 2 Mountain Drakes. It makes up for the fact that the Elder Drake takes less damage from you when you've taken more Elemental Drakes throughout the game. On top of that, too, that's a very quick Baron team now. You have a Kled, you have a Vayne. They're going to be able to shred that apart very fast. So Destral have to maintain this vision. Bob and Friend, though, are denying it very immediately.
Bob now looking to try and get a little bit more control up in the top side. Motionless in a very aggressive position on the split screen. He's really the playmaker for Bob right now. He lands a hook, they get a kill. That's all they need to do. But it's been difficult. A number of the targets on the side of Destro have had some level of safety, whether it's in the form of the Guardian's Angel or in the form of that Hourglass, or even the Sanjuin Pull for the Vladimir. And having 2 escapes from that, giving them some time for the rest of the team to collapse onto Bob. But they are just going to try and make this 2-wave push right now.
Let's go a Phantom Dancer coming out from Cute there. getting that finished off. I almost would have liked to see the rune ends a little bit more, because a lot of these have been just messy team fights for Destral, and they haven't been able to really jump on top of the Varus every single time. They've been able to get those picks earlier on in the game, but that's the main reason a lot of these fights have gone long, is because Cute actually has been playing safer. So that rune ends would have allowed to get a little bit more damage across the team, with the additional marks and the on-hits that are going to be coming out from the Rage Blade as well as the Bork. But again, going to opt into that Fan Dancer just for the survivability. We'll see what happens. 30 minutes here. We have the vision coming out from Bob and friends onto the top side. Destral have no vision in that top side jungle, so they're pretty afraid. They'll likely get in there, clear it out. As Bob and friends, they had a little bit of a delayed back, but they could possibly look to set up a bait.
Game's getting a little bit closer for Destro. Baron comes up once again. It's 30 minutes into the game right now. 7,000 gold difference on this side in the favor of Bob. But Destro, now they have had a few moments to breathe. There is that constant looming threat of danger. But now, as you said, it's that timer they're working with. Baron is up. Elder Dragon is coming up pretty soon. And that's going to be a very, very easy choice for Bob. They just need to pick those up, and they should be able to take the game for themselves.
Orca going to clear out the mid lane. We have a Bob and friend. They got the vision down. They're going to go ahead and try and clear it. Nikoya's in a little bit of a sneaky spot at the moment. Going to flash away immediately. Motionless drags back this Galio. That's a double knockup, though.
They're looking for the Dragon's Rage to get the kick onto
There's
2-man knockup. Blair joins in the fight, but the Paranoia moving on to Krex and looking over into the back line.
Veins
Blair
in.
is so big right now. Just getting catches onto everybody, but he won't be able to find a last auto attack onto Matt Live. Not going to get that kill. Motionless misses out on the hook. Won't be able to find yet another pick, but Bob should be happy with that, because that means they can't go over to that Baron.
Again, these fights, Bob and friend, they're able to find it because that Vayne comes in later into the fights and can look to clean up, and that's a very quick Baron. They have 2 Mound Drakes. They have a Vayne with Rage Blade and Bork. They're going to slice this one down. And Destral, they have to let this one go. Again, it was a messy fight to be taken by Bob, too. That was Motionless hooking
Absolutely.
in a Galio, and that immediately taunted 3 members of their team. It's not pretty. The thing that really was concerning for me was Cute was playing very passively during that fight. Was down onto the bot side of the brush, so had to play very safe. If they went too far forward, obviously they'd be collapsed upon. If the Varus isn't doing any work here, that's a major damage source from Destral that is just sitting on the map, not applying anything to the fight.
Also see Elder Dragon coming up in the next few minutes, so it can actually just be a window for Bob. They go in, they push out the next couple of waves, they rotate over to the Elder Dragon, pick that up, and then try and end off the game. Or you can even try and end off the game right now. They send Blair over into the side lane and try and push that out. Should send somebody up to the top side. Top side wave, it's a little bit pushed towards them. Destro now in a pretty difficult position. They have to try and find this last stand. Not all that much left they can do here, apart from just firing off every ultimate that they have. But we do see a number of critical... we do see the critical flash on that Galio still down from that last one.
Still, look at this. Siege is going to come in with those Baron Butt minions. It's hard for Destral to defend this for too long. It's not a team that is good for a long siege. They want to go for an all-in. Destral's also having to deal with Blair down in the bot lane. He's just walking up. Look at that tower get shredded.
Oh my goodness. They can't even do significant damage onto Blair at this point. You just see Hex Flash right over the wall, motionless. Just pressures out Destro. Not much he can do. Meanwhile, Bob's just going to make the rotation up top side.
All right, so now Bob have that 9,000 gold lead. They have GA on as well for Krex. He can look to jump in onto a fight. They're going to go ahead, rotate up toward this top lane, keep that pressure in. Blair has shown that he can walk up to a tower with a Vladimir right beside him and take it. He don't care anymore.
No, he don't care. As long as it's just Destro.
Bob don't care anymore.
Ain't no problem.
They've kind of said, all right, you know what? we're done messing around, and we're going to go for stuff.
Heck, they'll even take a hook onto Mad Light, but it's a catch onto Arca. Even with the Glens, he's still going to get locked down. The Paranoia jumping
so
in onto the
separated.
Zoe. They're trying to move on to Lavender. He's not able to do all that much. And Haru just going to be able to free hit as everybody targets the Zoe instead. The pulverize from Mad Light, looking to try and find a knockup onto the Vayne, but it's a nice flank coming through from the Kled. It's one kill after another. They're looking for the lockdown onto the Koya, the Ignite, but he's going to get back into his fountain quick enough.
And Bob were able to take all 3 inhibitors there. Blair actually soloed the inhib because Destro tried to go back up toward topside. He's going to try and answer here. He's making a stand.
Last stand from Destro. He's not going to be able to find a kill onto Haru. He goes Golden, stays alive for a little bit longer. The hook onto Nakoya to try and get this cash onto this Galio. Blair just moving in. They managed to get the kill onto the Varus. The kill onto the Galio. The kill onto the Vladimir shoulder. Just a couple more hits to take down Destro as well. And then Lavender goes down soon after. It's a triple kill for the Gled. Game goes over to Bob at 35 minutes and 24-14.
Yeah, Destro, I'll give it to them. They tried the composition. But I think that final fight there kind of summarized what's happened with a lot of these teams.
Wait, that final fight summarized this
No, that was actually a really good summarization. They tried the combo.
Okay.
Here's this big circle. It's a big indicator on your screen.
Yes.
Everyone's like on the other team, they're like, oh, if I step out of the circle, I'm fine. And it's like it's a 2.5 second channel, especially in a later part of the game where there's going to be some movement speed buffs available for some of these teams. You also got a Vayne that can just tumble out of the way. I don't like the Nocturne being picked into Vayne comps. I think that's my biggest issue, and I think that's something we're going to see. If I actually looked back, I don't think there actually has been a Nocturne team that's actually been able to beat a Vayne.
I think the Nocturne into the Vayne matchup is definitely difficult because, as you said,
that's paranoia. Tumble. You final hour tumble.
That's kind of the strength of
Where
Vayne.
did the Vayne go?
So if you're gonna try and pick this up, they have to have something in mind with it. So I think that it's time to Destro to go back to the drawing board. I think that was our last match coming in from Group A, along with the one from the community stream. Which was Pathfinder giving up against Climax because they had the player that is had to forfeit. So I think that's the last match from Group A. So after all this, Destro, they get to go back, they get to look over the games, and they get to go, all right, so what can we do better next time? Because this is still going to count towards the seeding moving into LST Summer.
Yes, so they'll at least have that too. I did like the aggression, but let's take a look. This was, again, this really long team fight where Destro found a good opportunity. They got this sneaky double teleport off, and they get themselves a double kill. Great. Awesome. It's a 3v5. It's actually a 2v5 at this point, and they say, okay, we want to keep on going. Motionless gets Hemo-plagued. Awesome. They say, let's keep going. That damn mana shield and that hook at the last second before Motionless goes down. Huge. Blair goes untargetable, and then the Sleepy Time Trouble Bubble coming out. Q can't do anything. And that's, I think, one of the big turning points here. If Dez were able to just get that extra kill, or get the 2 kills, and then get the tower, maybe a different game.
Absolutely.
Maybe a different game. It wouldn't be as one-sided where Blair gets a delayed triple, and you can't do anything with this Kled.
That was one of those big team fights that they look at and you go, oh, this was a good chance. If they managed to find it, it would have given them not only the resources in game, but also the feeling that they could go for those aggressive plays. Because it felt like once they lost out on that chance, they stopped trying to make those plays. And they were just giving space over to Bob to be the ones to decide when they want to go in. And in Bob's case, it was basically never. We didn't really see Kled try to use his ultimate to try and engage. Instead, they took the safer route, managed to establish pressure around the map, get control around the turrets, just siege them in overtime.
Well, I liked Blair's Kled actually because the ultimate wasn't necessarily proactive. It was acting as a re-engage tool.
Yes.
So every time Destro overstepped, we'd often see this Kled come barreling out of the side, middle of nowhere, and come in and get a kill, or at least get the team within range, and then the rest followed up. Especially always protecting that Vayne, and Haru on the Vayne too. Always able to play pretty safe as well. Was able to stay on the outskirts of the fight, apply damage with those silver bolts. Was very nicely done. We take a look at the post-game stats. Again, I think the big thing was the Dragons, especially when the double Moundrake came in. That really caused Destro to have to forfeit a lot of objectives. And the Barons were key. They couldn't fight around them.
I'm not exactly sure I would give man of the match to this time around. I feel like everybody kind of had their own role in the game, and they played that pretty well. I didn't feel like anybody had a very much standout performance. So you're going into this.
I think it's Blair.
You
I
would give
think
it
it's
to
Blair, especially in the later part of the game. He was applying enough pressure, and he was doing what he needed to do, his job, which was apply pressure and pretty much force this Vladimir to have to be pretty much do nothing. Because it got to a point where he couldn't even defend at the inhibitor tower, and Blair just came up and was like, bonk, 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 it's dead.
Hey, it's not his health, it's Scarl's health. So it doesn't even matter. But
Yeah,
so
exactly.
he just comes in, gets a couple hits onto the inhibitor turret, picks it up, and we have Blair, as you said, who's going to be our MVP, our man of the match. With a 12, 3, and 6 KDA.
Yeah, 6 KDA, so doing pretty good for themselves as well. 700 damage per minute. Again, he was involved with a lot of those fights, and the ultimates, like I mentioned too, good for the re-engage after a lot was expended by the side of Destral. It made it pretty hard for them to have to answer, and it gave that extra movement speed to the Vayne too to allow her to position herself very nicely across these team fights as well.
Yeah.
Stay safe, but still be applying damage. So, again, pick worked out. Was glad to see it work for the side of Bob and Fred. It's a good way for them to finish off the tournament.
I think so. Finish it on a win, finish on a good note. They will be able to come back off after this and just play it out again. I still think there's a lot of opportunities for these teams to get even better. Just play more. Just play more, right?
Yeah, just play more.
Play more.
Just play a little more.
Yeah, but
one more game. We all seen the little cinematic for that one. Just one more game.
With that being said, I think we've come to the end of our third match. We're going to go into our fourth one of the day. It's going to be WIT versus Empire. A pretty big one for Empire. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.